everyone. Okay, I actually didn't really take a whole lot of notes for this live because I just wanted to come to you and talk to you just some things that have like heavy on my heart today and just kind of go with it. I have no makeup on, just lashes, and oh, I did put some lips on earlier today, but probably already gone. Don't care, still working on the brows. Brows are not completely finished yet, but they're getting there. Hey Christina, so as you're hopping in, let me know you're here. Hey Jennifer, those of you catching the replay, please comment replay below. Let me know that you caught it. So leading a team is much like being in rush hour traffic, and I'm going to explain in just a second. But first, if you don't know who I am, I'm Jennifer Stroman, and I am the #Glitter CEO, and I love all things magical: unicorns, rainbows, glitter, and mermaids. Anything you can think of that's magical, I love it. So, hey Laura, if you are just hopping in, drop me a unicorn below. Let me know you're here. Hey Tasha. So, I had this conversation with one of my girls this morning, and I told her that I actually did not call to like uplift her or motivate her, but then it turned into that. And as I was having this conversation with her, I told her that I was thinking about lots of different things like I normally do in the morning, and I was getting kind of irritated and a little negative, and I turned on I do personal development in the morning, and I turned on the book that I'm listening to, and it was exactly what I was thinking about, and it corrected like everything I was thinking and put it back into the, like, put my whole life under a microscope in an instant. And I was like, okay. Because as a leader, hey Tanya, let me know y'all are here, drop me a unicorn. As a leader, I know. I'll just tell you this. I know. If you are leading a team, drop me number one. If you have one person that follows you, one person that's on your team, one person that's with you in whatever journey you're on, if you have a team that you are leading, drop me number one. If you know in your heart of hearts that you're already a leader and you don't have anybody yet, you're still a leader, drop me number one. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Leaders have to do more than anybody else. Leaders are required to do more than anybody else. If you're ever going for a promotion or you're ever trying to get things done, it weighs on your shoulders. You are the one who has to put everything into action. As I was talking to the girl today, I was telling her, you know, I reflect back on different like real big promotions in my eyes, like things that I wanted to accomplish personally for my organization. And I pulled out 2 times and told her both of those times, hey Stacy, both of those times that I reflected on, I was the one up until the last second. I was still messaging, I was still doing everything, because you have to pull the weight as a leader. You have to do the most work. So this made me really think about leading and why the reference to rush hour traffic. Well, you know, I'll give you an example. Let's pretend like we are in a car. Y'all drop me a car below. Drop me a car in the comments. So you were in the car and you were in rush hour traffic. Who hates rush hour traffic? If you hate rush hour traffic, drop me number 2 below. When I was in LA, holy cow, yeah, they have really bad traffic. Really bad traffic. Like, I thought Houston was bad. No, it is not. It is not bad at all. Not in comparison to LA. It's horrible. And wasn't it not too long ago that like a plane crashed on a highway it's not funny, but I mean, rush hour traffic is crazy. That's why they have all these, like, they always talk about it on the radio. Like, rush hour traffic is horrendous. Who the heck is in the bathroom, like, making all this noise? They're making all kinds of noise in there. It's like right on this wall. I don't think they realize that. So if you hear a bunch of noise and commotion, sorry guys. Yes, Michelle, I like that blue car too. So drop me a car. If you are in rush hour traffic, it can be excruciating, right? Like, it can be miserable sometimes, but you can also zone out and be listening to music and jamming and just chilling, right? So there's different ways to look at this. But as a leader, being in rush hour traffic, we're in our car, right? We have to make a commitment. Like, we're committed to, we got on that highway. So first of all, we made a commitment. You've got to make a commitment. You've got to stick to it. You have a path. You have a place to go. You're going to stick to it. Hey, Stacy. Hey, Christina. Like, you are getting on the highway. You're in rush hour traffic. You've got to make a commitment. You've got to stick to it. It's time to go. It's time to go. So part of that is once you make that commitment and you say, I'm going to get on this highway and we're going to go, you got to follow through with the action. You can't just get on the highway and then be like, I want to figure out how to get, like, it's not easy to get across all those lanes to get off. Like, it's not. You've got to fight through traffic and everything else, right? Hey, Amanda. So it's not like you can just easily hop in and out. I'm going to pretend like we're in LA and I'm in the fast lane. Like, there is no getting over. You're out of your mind. There's people who do it, but you're out of your mind if you're going to go to, let's pretend like we have the biggest freaking car in the world. Hey, Jennifer. So as a leader, you have to make a commitment. You got on the highway, you're going forward, you got to stick to it. You have a path. You've got to follow through with action, and that action in this instance is being in the car and going forward. You have to go forward. So as a leader, you've got to make a commitment and you've got to go for it. You cannot second guess yourself. Does anybody agree with me? Hey, Kimberly, if you agree with me, drop me number 3. You cannot second guess yourself. The moment you are committed to whatever action it is, whatever commitment that you're making, whatever goal that you've put out for you, or whatever you're doing, maybe it's just joining a company, maybe it's just finishing a task, maybe it is a big promotion. I don't know what it is, but once you have made a commitment, you got to stick to it. And you cannot second guess yourself. The moment you second guess yourself, you're going to kill yourself. Hey, Shayla, how many of you have seen people second guess themselves on the road? Yeah, like, let's give us like an X, like, you don't want to second guess yourself. The moment you second guess yourself, you're going to totally miss the end to get into the next lane, or you're going to hit somebody, or you're going to cause an accident. You can't second guess yourself when you're in the middle of rush hour traffic. If you get that in and you think, can I go? Can I go? You better go. If you just even second guess yourself 1 second, what happens? It's a complete mess, right? Collision, boom. Let's do some like bombs, or no, not a bomb, but like the burst. You know, like you cannot second guess yourself, or you will kill yourself. Okay, it totally kills you. So when you are this leader and you're on this journey, you can't second guess what you're doing. You have to still keep going forward. Your team is watching you and they're seeing what you're going to do. They're going to follow what you are doing. Hey, Michelle. So if you are a leader, I got a bunch of number 1s earlier. If you are a leader, you have to realize that people are watching you. Even when you don't realize they're watching you, they're watching you. Hey, Dawn. So even when you're on the highway and you're in rush hour traffic, people are watching you. People are watching everything about you. They're watching you down, they're watching you physically, they're watching the car, they're watching where you're gonna turn, they're watching your lights. People are watching you, they're seeing what you're gonna do. Stop doubting yourself and then bam, back to square one. Yes, start doubting it. Once the moment you start doubting yourself, like you're dust, right? So when I was talking to the girl this morning, one of the things that I did is I knew that she's pretty far away from a goal, but yet so freaking close to this goal. And so I gave her an out and I told her, hey, Renee, and I was like, if you want to throw in the towel, I'm going to be supportive. And as a leader, I really wanted to be like, get up and go. But you can't want it for them more than they want it for themselves. So I kind of gave her an out. And she was quiet for a little bit and we kept talking. And then she was like, no, I've got to do this, or I'm going to be so mad at myself. And I'm like, there is a leader. There's a leader, y'all. The leader does not stop. The leader does not throw in the towel. The leader keeps going, regardless of how big or how drastic the task may look or how horrible the traffic is ahead of you. You get on and you are committed to it and you follow through because people are watching. And she even said, my team's watching. Yes, they're watching. They want to know what you're doing. They want to know if you're going to follow through. They want to know if you're going to give up and be like, can't do it. We'll just watch. Maybe next time I'm just going to sit. I'm going to go ahead and put my car in park in the middle of rush hour traffic and just stop. We're just going to stop. You can't do that. Trying to decide what we had for breakfast while straying us down. It's totally, it's just ridiculous. So you've got to be confident in your decision and you've got to be moving forward. You have to know that this is exactly what you want to do and you're going to achieve it. You're going to run for it regardless of what happens. You're going to run for it. You got to be dedicated. This is the next point I have for you. You got to be dedicated to whatever it is you're doing. Hey, Carrie. Hey, Melissa. So not only do you have to have that commitment, you've got to be dedicated to that commitment and follow freaking through. true. Can I get an amen? Amen. Do you put your car in park in the middle of rush hour traffic, or do you keep moving? I'm just curious. I mean, like I said, that was a clear sign to me that this girl that I was talking to was a leader, because she wasn't going to throw in the towel. Like, she wasn't going to stop just because she hit a bump in the road or because it feels like the task is too big. She's not going to put her car in park in the middle of rush hour traffic. She may try to battle her way through to the next exit because she's trying to get out, but she's not going to give up. So one of the other reasons why being a leader can be like rush hour traffic is, how many of you have ever seen some road rage? If you've ever seen some road rage, drop me a number 4 below. Some road rage going on. I've had so many experiences with this. People yelling, people flicking me off. Usually when my kids are in the car, like, nobody ever has road rage whenever I'm just driving by myself. They got to do it with my kids in the car and be yelling at my kids or flicking me off because I'm going 78 and a 75 and it's not fast enough for them or whatever. Hey, Lauren. So if you've ever seen road rage, this is another reason. Okay, so Carrie lives in Chicago, so she's seen some road rage. So you can see it in LA too, and that is all like the little sports cars that think that they're so, bad A, and they're gonna whoop in and out of things and whatever. Or the motorcycles, that drives me crazy. The motorcycles driving in the middle. Anyways, hey Brittany, so you have bad road rage. That's not good, Kimberly. So if you are a leader and you're in the middle of rush hour traffic and someone gets angry, someone's getting mad, it's not worth the road rage. I'm going there, just breathe. Good job, Michelle, you're following along. You are responsible for your reaction. You are responsible for how you are going to act when that person has road rage, which could be one of your teammates. It could be someone who's trying to be, who's a teammate who's trying to do something and they suddenly get real negative. They get real negative because they're not hitting the goals, or they're not achieving what they wanted, or things aren't going the way they want, or their company doesn't have what they need, or something's out of stock, or those people like negative, and it's just Does anybody know those naggers? Give me a number 5 if you've got a nagger around you in your life that you're just like, oh my gosh, like can we have something positive in our life? Just anything positive. So you are in control of how you react to it. Since I became a mom, it's changed a lot. Good, Kimberly. Yeah, I think things change drastically when you become a mama. So your response matters. Your response is, again, you're being watched. Everyone's watching how you're reacting. When someone has road rage and I've got my babies in the car, which aren't so much babies anymore, those babies are watching how I'm going to react, right? They're watching what I'm going to do, how I'm going to say things. How am I going to flick the person off too? Like, what am I going to do? So they're not only watching you, and it doesn't only matter how you react, but you have to recognize when the path of least resistance, like you've got to recognize when it's just not worth your time or effort. So you're trying to get over into the right lane and this other car's trying to get in the right lane and they're flicking you off and they run over to the right lane. Maybe it's not worth it. Maybe you just stay in your lane and stay your course and wait a little bit and then scoot over. Makes sense, guys? If it makes sense, drop me some hearts below that you are loving this, that you understand it, and that you're following me. So I'm getting hot. That's why I keep moving my hair. You have to realize that you're responsible for the way you react to that person. I think it's Chuck Swindoll, and I love this. I love the quote that he says that 10% of life is what happens to you and 90% is how you react to it. And it's so true. 90% of how you react is what life is about. 90. Think about that for just a second. Hey, April, that's a lot. So if 90% is how you react, think about all those eyes that are watching you to see how you are going to react. It sometimes feels like it's flip, right? Like a lot of us feel like it's reversed, that 90% is what's happening to us and 10% is how we react. Does anybody feel that way sometimes? Drop me a 6 if you ever feel that way, because I sure as heck do. Sometimes I feel like what's happening to me is so gigantic that I don't really pay attention to the fact that 90% is how I'm reacting to it. So if that gigantic thing is happening, that's only 10%. Like, why am I not paying attention to the fact that, 90% is how I'm going to react to it? It's crazy. So I have one last point and then I'm going to go ahead and go. But You've got to stay the course, be committed and dedicated, number one. Number two, you've got to realize that how you react is everything. Do you agree? If you agree, drop me some yeses below. You agree. And I hope that you start thinking about that in everything that you do. It's not just road rage. It's not just being on the highway. It's everything in life. How you react is everything. Somebody can be very shady to you. Somebody can be very ugly to you. Somebody can be very degrading to you. Somebody can tear you down. But how you react is everything. And sometimes silence, it matters more than anything. Sometimes not reacting is the best recourse. So just be aware of that. And as a leader, leading a team, how you react is everything because they're watching and your teammates will follow suit. If you drive by, the person that's yelling and screaming and you flick them off and you're yelling obscenities, then guess what? Your teammates are going to do the same thing. If you are negative Nancy and you're over there going, the company doesn't have this and and I don't know why this and I just don't understand that. If you're just negative, everybody else is going to follow suit. You're just going to fuel that. You are turning yourself into a negative magnet. Stop it. And the last point that I will make with this, leaders, you are in this crazy rush hour traffic trying to make it to your final destination, wherever that may be. And you've got to stay focused. You cannot drift off into la la land and go off and do something else. You cannot stop on the side of the highway and start picking flowers, guys. Like, you have to stay, yes, misery loves company. You have to stay focused. You've got to have your GPS, you're plugged in, you know where you're going, you've got to pay attention. If you're not paying attention and staying focused, you're not going to know when you need to start scooting over to the right lane. You're not going to know when it's time to exit. You're not going to know when it's time to get off so that you can get on to your next destination. You're going to have no clue what's going on. So stay focused. You've got to just run, stay in your lane, keep running, keep your head down. Don't look left and right. I mean, obviously if you're driving, you are looking left and right, but as a leader, you've got to keep your head down and keep focused on the prize ahead. Don't look at what is going on around you. It is so true, Melissa. Like, you've got to stay focused. And how many of you drift off while you're driving and you like wander off in thought? If you ever do that, drop me number 7 below, because I am notorious for this. And then I'm like, oh, that was my exit. Oh, I forgot, because I didn't turn my GPS on because I thought I knew where I was going, and then I wasn't paying attention. And my little, I have a European accent on mine. So my European accent girl isn't telling me that I need to go ahead and exit. And so they didn't tell me I was supposed to, and I totally went off into la la land, listening to music and just total autopilot. Yes, Carrie, total autopilot. And I'm just like, do. And I'm not paying attention. If you're not paying attention, how are you ever going to get where you plan to be? I mean, am I right or am I right? So if you are a true leader, you have got to be committed. You've got to be dedicated, and you've got to realize that your reaction is everything. And the last thing you got to do is stay focused. Keep your head down and run. And listen for the moment that your European accent lady tells you that it's time to go turn this way, and follow her directions. All right, guys, I love you. Have a great day. Bye.